This is the K&N Series 50 NextGen Cold Air Intake with the high flow oiled filter, and it is going to be available for all 2019 to 2024 5.7 liter powered Ram 1500s. Now the K&N should appeal to Ram owners out there who essentially want the best of both worlds out of your aftermarket intake system. For instance, you want the increased sound of an open element design, but with the partially sealed airbox to help prevent any excess heat soak. Now the K&N will include a rotomolded plastic intake tube here, again that unique molded air box design, and the reusable high flow oiled filter, all for right around that high $400 price point. Now moving into our features block, and I would say the biggest is the fact that the Series 50 Next Gen is one of the newer systems from the legendary brand, with the main feature of delivering that hybrid airbox design. Now traditionally, if you know aftermarket intakes, you know you have either a fully sealed airbox or a design that is pretty much wide open, and both are really going to have their pros and their cons. Now in this case, K&N has come up with the design, their Next Gen system here, if you will, that blends the two styles together. So owners can enjoy a little bit of the pros of each here. A little bit more sound under hard acceleration while still maintaining lower intake air temperature numbers and keeping power up in warmer climates. Now that design, that hybrid design, along with other components, does lead to a nearly 40% increase in airflow over your factory airbox, and advertised gains from K&N of nearly 20 horsepower and 20 pound-feet of torque, which I have to say is going to be best case scenario for a lot of Ram owners out there, especially considering the fact that this is without any tuning, which by the way is not required here with the K&N installed. All right, moving into construction, and what do you say we start off with the legendary K&N filter here, essentially the part that built the brand, or at least started it, and this is going to be a washable and reusable high flow oiled filter featuring that more traditional cotton media design. Now this filter with proper maintenance will essentially last you the life of your truck, and K&N even claims that you can go up to 100,000 miles without needing any cleaning or re-oiling, which is very impressive. However, I would expect that to change if you live in a very dirty or dusty climate. Now before we move on from the filter, one of the things they have included here with the Next Gen that they haven't on previous designs, the little colored fins here, if you will, for your filter. I don't know, might be kind of small, silly, but I like it. It's the little things, and when placed properly is visible through the airbox design. Speaking of which, let's move on to that molded airbox here, which we did cover at length already, but that airbox again does feature a molded plastic design or construction, just like the molded intake tube that we have right here. The tube itself has been designed using CAD designing, so basically you're going to be maximizing the airflow while still fitting easily in the stock location. Speaking of which, this intake will mount in the stock location using all the included clamps and hardware, and is backed by K&N's signature million-mile warranty. Price point for the K&N Series 50 Next Gen will land around that high $400 ballpark here, which puts this in line with other K&N offerings on the site for your Hemi-powered Ram, in addition to other more premium intakes from companies like AFE, Corsa, or Air Raid. Last but not least, let's get into the installation process. And because this is a simple bolt-on job requiring no modification whatsoever, the site is going to stick with a solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking about 30 minutes or so to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of how this one might go down on your Hemi at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need a ratchet, 8mm socket, flathead screwdriver, and adjustable wrench. All right, today we're going to be installing an intake on our Ram. First, we'll watch a quick video how to uninstall a stock one, and then we'll come back here to install the new one.
All right, first step here, you're going to disconnect the temp sensor just by disconnecting that harness. Pinch and pull back. Next step, we're going to disconnect this hose, which is just to the left. You're going to push up on that gray locking tab from the bottom and pull straight back. Next, we're going to take a flathead screwdriver, and we're going to loosen up this clamp connecting the factory hose to the throttle body. All right, so now that we have that loosened up, we're going to pull up on this tubing to disconnect it. Now what we want to do is lift straight up on the airbox to disconnect. There's 2 little rubber plugs that these are in that are kind of retaining that in place. So we're just going to pull and disconnect it from there. There we go, and we're going to set this aside.
All right, now the airbox is out, we just need to take off a few things. So we're going to take off our temp sensor. That's simply just a quarter turn and then just pull out. And then most of the time we need to swap over our grommets, so we're just going to pull them out. There's 4 of them. They simply just pull out like so. All right, before we get our new intake on, we just need to do a little bit of assembly. We just have to put our grommet in for our temp sensor and also our adapter for our vent tube. So it simply just threads in here. We're gonna grab an adjustable wrench and snug that up. That doesn't need to be crazy tight. And we'll get our grommet in for our temp sensor as it slides into place. Just work it around. You can come in from the bottom and just work it in. There we go. And we simply just push our temp sensor into place, just like so. All right, now for our airbox, we just need to install our 4 grommets that we took out. So we have 2 here and then 2 here. You simply just push into place. Now we're gonna get our airbox into our truck. We have our 4 studs that our grommets will go over. Just simply push this down into place. So we're gonna come to our throttle body and install our coupler. We'll just set that over, grab our 1 clamp, grab a ratchet, 8mm socket, and go ahead and tighten that bottom one down. We'll just set our other clamp over top, and we'll go ahead and get our filter and our tube on. All right, we'll get our filter that simply just pushes into the airbox, locks in place. Get our clamp over that, and we can get our intake tube in there and over our throttle body. All right, so our tube's just gonna push into our filter, pivot that around to go around our throttle body coupler. All right, so we'll grab our ratchet 8mm socket and tighten down our clamp on our filter. Just get this to hold in the right spot. All right, and then our second clamp on our coupler here. Then lastly, just around back, we're gonna get our vent tube over and snapped into place and plug in our temp sensor. And that wraps up our install of our K&N Series 50 NextGen Cold Air Intake for our 2019 to 24 5.7 liter Ram 1500. And remember, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.